Hey there, welcome to CNT Collectibles. I am C. Hope you're doing well. So this is a video that I wasn't planning on doing at the moment here. It's going to wait a week or two, but let's do a little mail day here. And sometimes when the hobby gets goofy, you just got to bring it back to our happy place here. So I'm in my Star Wars room, and we're gonna channel our inner Mangini and look at some baseball cards. So start off here with a couple of hits that I've pulled from various packs or whatever. And so, a couple of these are Homer ones, which may not be the biggest deal, but I've got an a couple update blasters or hanger boxes, and was able to pull a Trevor Larnach. Those are the whatever they call it, Orange Bubble or something like that, out of 299. Out of Archives, got a nice Alex Kirilloff, and that's out of 75. So again, homer picks here, but I bought a box of Bowman's Best, and the chase card this year in that one is the Wander Franco, and I was fortunate enough to hit the Wander Franco, and that is the refractor version. So whether or not that's going to be his rookie card, I think the market will determine that at some point or another. But nice to have the bases covered on that particular card. And one of the autographs was Julio Rodriguez. I think that's going to be one of the bigger. Well, he'll be number one or two prospect for next year, and should make his way up. So we'll see how that one turns out. All right, on to the stuff that I wasn't so fortunate and had to go out to the open market and purchase. This one will be for my kids here. Dalvin Cook, they're huge Dalvin Cook fans, and they got a few jerseys signed by him or whatever. He's a terrific person, and how do you not have a card of one of the premier running backs? So whatever his long term prospects are, but the boys are big fans of his, and so let's do it and have some fun here. All right, Topps Chrome Black. I really like the look of these cards here. So some of these rookies are pretty cheap. The product is just overlooked as a whole here. So Ryan Mountcastle is not a player I'm going to put a ton of money into, but he's got the skill set and everything like that. But for a low price, it's like, all right, let's have a little piece of that one here. So Joe Adell, I actually pulled a Joe Adell out of 50, and so I'm like, all right, let's get a couple of the others. And I am a sucker for the atomic refractors, and it's like, oh my gosh, they've got a green atomic, so I had to get in on that one. Those are out of 99, but I thought that was for fun. Let's take a shot here. This is a 70 grade prospect, and so he had a lousy first year. But those guys, it's sometimes they work, but more often than not they work, and sometimes they don't or whatever. But his price right now is basically speculation, and I think he's a bit more than that. Andrew Vaughn is a player that I like a lot. He's shown he can play here. So again, that atomic refractor I'm a sucker for. So not a big deal on this one right here. I never pulled one of these. Never pulled, and his prices are just they're down to speculation level at this point here. So that's the refractor version that you can get for under $20 if you're looking for a raw. But I think he's worth more than speculation. So you could look at a lot of other players right now. They're going for $30-$40, and it's like they can't do what Lubov did the last half of last year. Alex Bregman is another player that he's kind of fallen off the beaten path here with injuries and shortened season. But when he plays, he's MVP level. So if he can stay healthy and get back on it, then his prices right now, again, for something that's, nice color on it. I typically don't care about the color variations, but I think on like 2017, 2018, they look awesome. You get the full color, full effect on the card. I think he's worth more than speculation as well. So the time to buy is when you don't want to, right? So the atomic refractor, Bowman's Best rookie as well. So big fan of the atomics, and again, getting these things for under $20, it's like it's not going to hurt me over the long term. So why the heck not? So all right, I'm putting together a little personal collection here. We're here to have some fun, right? So I want a nice Joe Mauer card from every year that he played. So the nice thing about this collection is it's not going to cost a lot of money here. So there's the 2008, that's the copper variation. Ideally, I'd like to get the X-Fractor for every year. So I was able to find the X-Fractor for 2008. I think those are beautiful, and they shine. And so if I can get an X-Fractor for every year, I've got his Bowman rookie X-Fractor autograph. But it's like, all right, let's get the other ones. And again, those are pretty cheap entertainment overall. I do like the Diamond Anniversary in 2011, so I'll try to get the X Fractor of that one as well. But the Diamond ones are hard to pass up. So again, not a crazy example, but a nice example from every year. This was supposed to be an X Fractor. I don't, sellers, they can't tell the difference between Prism and X Fractor. Usually I can catch it, but I didn't see this one. But still, sweet looking card. And again, I'm out $2, so not the end of the world. Couple others that let's see. Oh, here they are. And then I think it was ComC that just had a bunch on there, so I just bought whatever they had because they're like $1 a piece, and then you combine the shipping on them. So a bunch of pinks, regular refractors, some couple more pinks. Then there's some of the X fractors. There's the 2014, 2012, and a 2010. So I'll get those sleeved up at some point. Staying on the Minnesota theme real quick. A couple of these guys, I think they're all from Minnesota actually. So the Hanson brothers in the Ellen Ginter Black. So maybe you TTMers can help me out. I think a silver autograph on those would look sweet. And then as long as the sapphires were as many sapphires that were available for his career for Joe Mauer as well. I thought if you're going to get a nice version of his card, hard to get better than a sapphire. So love the looks of those. So all right, there's my Joe Mauer. So again, I'm kind of picking away at that. It's fun and it's cheap, so you just got to mix that in once in a while, I suppose. All right, one of the heroes of the playoffs view, it was about a month ago or something like that, and one of the chart blasts, it's like, all right, Burrow's gotten down to a level where if he performs well, should have some pretty decent upside. So not that I intend on selling this or anything like that, but it's like, you should have a piece of this guy, I think. So that's the Firebird Mosaic. I just like the looks of those cards or anything like that. So I'm not a serious Burrow fan or anything like that, but it's like, that might be a fun card to have while it's still cheap, and that's worked out. His prices have really been ripping as of late. A pitcher that was a little bit under the radar. If you can win 20 games and be under the radar, your name is Julio Urias. So his prices are pretty low, and it's a pitcher. So again, not a lot of people are willing to speculate on those, put a ton of money into him. And you don't have to put a ton of money into him. This is the Mother's Day pink actually, so there's only 50 of these, and you can still get them for around $30 or something like that. But he's been pitching for a while, and he's still pretty young. So think this is kind of like a Felix Hernandez thing without quite the strikeout rate or anything like that. But it's like that's an interesting name. It's still pretty cheap. Let's see how this plays out. Also, a young guy that I'm always a big fan of, still young and just keeps grinding out All-Star years or anything. I don't think he'll be MVP or anything like that. He could. He's got the talent to do it, but consistently be an all-star and coming up at age 22 and doing that's a big deal. So I'll always buy an Ozzy Albies when I see something interesting, and that's one of them right there. So young player theme, whatever. Rafi Devers is the Heritage Action. Been missed out on a few of these, and finally found one that was at a decent price. So whatever, a little off center, but I don't really care too much about that. Guy's been around for a little bit longer. Manny Machado, but I think he, whatever you think of his personality, I think people were hating on Bryce Harper for a while because they thought he was kind of a Richard. Manny Machado probably falls into the same thing, but you look at his numbers, if you can take away the emotional a little bit and just look at what he's doing on the field, I think he's still, relative to some of his peers, a little bit cheap perhaps. And so maybe get something that's, while they're still cheap, get something that's a little bit more limited. So I don't know. So I like Manny Machado, and we'll see how that as a player, and we'll see how that pans out over the long term here. But as always, manage your risk, and so just buy what you can afford. And instead of paying $600 for a PSA 10, I'll buy a raw for a fraction of that price here. So Joey Votto, X Fractor. Yeah, I think he's another year or two, he'll really solidify that Hall of Fame case. I bought an X Fractor a couple months ago. And then I saw a few of them saw this one up for auction. It was going for way less than what I paid, which is never a good feeling. So I just thought I would try and price enforce. I'm like, all right, let me just put down a bid to make sure that this thing is like, so I have a little bit of self-respect for what I paid for that first one. And I actually ended up winning it. It's like, oh crap. So bad news. Well, good news is I really, really lowered my cost basis between the two of those. So I made a mistake on the first one, apparently. All right. Corey Seeger. This is the foil board refractors. These are pretty limited, 177 in 2016. And a player that I like a lot. Been collecting a number of his things over the past year. And after everything kind of collapsed, like, all right, it seems like this guy's on an interesting track. Let's go for it. So I've been trying to get a sapphire version, but people have not been willing to move off of those at a price that I want. And this came up, and the dealer or the seller accepted my offer. So it's like, all right, well, here's a card that's has 60% the print run of a Sapphire, and it's less than half the price what these other guys are looking for. So I'll go for that. So yeah, these are inserted into hobby sets, and they're a little bit harder to find. So I don't know what the market thinks of them or anything like that, but I think they're pretty sharp looking cards. All right, it's Acuna time. We got to do it here. So the cards I do like, as far as getting the color variations, again, if the price is right, I'm fine with it. What I really like are the image variations. And so this is the short print, not the super short print, just the regular old short print, and really nice looking card here. So the seller was pretty pleased. You're going to be happy with it. You're going to be happy with it. And he's right. I'm very happy with it. Nice guy to deal with here. So very happy to have that card. The way that he's playing, yeah, he's got enough. He's put enough wins up to create a little bit of space. He can have that off year, missed part of the year. Even what he did last year was an all-star level season before he got hurt. So let's see what he comes back with. A lot of these guys are coming back in fantastic shape. So let's just see if he can do the same thing. I'm betting he can. Scott Rowland. All right, no more Scott Rowland. All right, I've got enough of his stuff here. We'll know in a couple hours here whether or not he is in the Hall of Fame. That announcement comes at 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. This is the refractor version. You want it graded at a high grade, you're going to spend $500, $600, $700 at auction in a raw, and this one looks terrific. You'll spend a lot less than that. So the refractor is kind of the card to get. You have your prime prospects, and you want the gold in that one, and then when you get to these other the Bowman Best or whatever, which will be his other kind of his rookie card. The refractor one is kind of what you're looking for. There's limited ones, a little more limited, but within reason, that's kind of what you're looking for. All right. A couple more pulls here. Another Archives one. Eric Chavez. I was just a huge fan of his. I was excited to get that autograph. It's like, I probably could have got it for a lot cheaper than the $20 box, but still, it's like, all right, let's just go for that. And Miggy Bautista. So, Miggy. I got a Miggy autograph here. All right, a couple autographs I had to actually purchase here. I didn't have any Francisco Lindor autographs. So I'm like, all right, they're just kind of expensive, and this one was sitting out there for a price. It's like, I had a few beers and it got cheaper and cheaper the more I drank. It's kind of weird how that happens, but I think that is that's a pretty sharp looking autograph off the Topps tribute or whatever. So whatever you think about his season last year, he really started to put together in the back half. Hardly disrupted his Hall of Fame path at all, and he's really young still. Again, think about the guys that are coming up at 24 years old. Are they going to be able to put up like 9-win seasons over the next 3 years to get to where Lindor is at right now? It's like probably not. So as far as how his track relative to others, it looks really good. And I was thinking here, all right, Haas cards. He's a super guy, big Indians fan. And he had a post a couple, like a week or two ago. So Haas, if you're watching, maybe I can cheer you up a little bit. So if you don't have a Lindor autograph, or this is a card you think you might want, just shoot me an email. I will send it to you, bud. It's yours. He's always been such a huge supporter of little channels. I mean, I think we had like 6 or 7 subscribers, and he jumped in and started leaving comments like, how the hell did you find us, man? So heck of a guy here, and whatever can give you a little smile, you let me know, buddy. That's your card. All right. A couple other Andrew Jones. I think he gets in the Hall of Fame at some point, but I just really like the cards that they had this year in that, what was it, the All-Star Cup rookie card thing or whatever. You have the throwback cards with a little foil action, and it's like, all right, what the heck? Let's just get an Andrew Jones card here. If he gets in tonight on the announcement, then I'll have to get one of his rookie cards as well, but I will wait on that one. So a guy who's not getting into the Hall of Fame, but if you grew up in the 80s, just a beast. It's like, I don't have a Canseco autograph. This looks pretty sweet. And again, pretty cheap entertainment. Let's just have at it. So, all right. Eventually, I did find my Lindor autograph at a price that I wanted. So the seller was, we worked together on that one and came up with a fair price. So PSA 9, but it's the refractor. So out of 500 or whatever. Again, I just look at the other Bowman Chrome first autographs or whatever from these players. Players are doing what he's doing, and he didn't cost as much of those. So all right, our friend Dakota. this one is his fault. He put out a community post. He's like, "Hey, this guy's got a great, a ton of auctions ending really soon and all that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm bored. Let me just look." And well, there it is. So didn't have a Pedro autograph. It's like, don't forget how dominant this guy was. Oh my gosh, Prime Pedro is probably the best pitcher of all time, honestly, for what we'll see. And I thought that was a pretty nice looking card for a decent price. It's like, oh geez, that's a sweet looking card. Let's have some fun with it. And then it's like, here's a rookie that I didn't have, and this is his Leaf Gold rookies in a PSA 9. Like I said, I don't care about the grade a ton, but this card is a card I've been just off and on. I've been watching for a long time, and now it was like $30, and then it was $40. I'm like, I'm not paying that, and then now it's $20. Like, I'll pay that. So, Xander Bogaerts, I just very Jose Ramirez, Xander Bogaerts are just two players that it's like they don't get enough love, and so Xander's starting to get some now. His cards have done pretty well, and his autograph refractors they're shooting up a bit here. But I was able to find a raw one on a weird timing, win the auction, and get a nice example of Xander Bogaerts autograph. All right, I've got a couple Star Wars. Since we're in the Star Wars room, we should probably do that, right? Kenny Baker, this is the archives, or excuse me, the Stellar Signatures, and this is this year. And so R2D2 himself passed away a few years ago, so they're down to stickers with him at this point. But didn't have a Kenny Baker. Who doesn't like R2D2? And I thought that one was a nice one to add to the collection here. I've got a few Star Wars autographs, and I'm just going to add a few more, I think. This one I was really happy to get. Billy D. Williams and Peter Mayhew, and the Peter Mayhew autograph looks a little rough here. So I think this is the 2019 or the 2020 Stellar Signatures. And Peter Mayhew, he was on the decline. Just a sweetheart of a man, a fan favorite. It always took the time to sign, talk to fans. Just a really pretty incredible person, gentle giant. And again, he was on his decline, and so this is on card, which is special because he probably didn't have a whole lot of these after the fact. You could see how hard he had to work to get that out. This does not look like his older autographs or anything like that. So I think that's, for me, I mean, that's kind of special that he put the effort into that one to get that one done here. So no longer with us, and again, the on-card ones aren't going to exist anymore, and you can tell that took a lot of effort from him. So, all right, action figure time. Here's a Hammerhead, Return of the Jedi, and so for my collection, I try to get each figure on each card that they came out, and so over there we've got some of the 12-backs, the earlier cards or whatever. I didn't have a Hammerhead in Return of the Jedi, and I saw this one, and the card is in good condition. The bubble is kind of yellow, but that's what happens to that plastic over time. The plastic that they used got a little bit cheaper over time. So Return of the Jedi, it's hard to find them in nice clear bubble. I used to be a stickler for that, but that was 20 years ago. Now they're just degrading. So you get it on a nice card. That's kind of where you're at. So happy to have that one and fill in an opening on the wall. So that's a lesser character, not terribly expensive. The other ones are really expensive. So wrap it up here with Hometown Hero Kirby Puckett. So always nice to have a Puckett. I've there's very few variations back in the day, which makes collecting some of these guys kind of easy for his rookie cards. So I've got the Fleer update in the 85s, and this one is a little bit faded around the edges. Not too bad though. It looks really good. But the back looks really good. So that is the Tiffany. So again, there's very few high-end variations that you can get of these cards in the mid 80s, but the Tiffany is one. It's a somewhat limited print run, and I'm happy to have that and add that to my Kirby Puckett collection. So that's what I got for you. I hope everyone is having a terrific day. Again, this wasn't what I was going to throw out. Tommy and I think we're going to do a little football roundup and post that one tomorrow. So been posting like a video a week for the past few weeks, and now we get like 3 in 3 days or something like that, or 3 in 4 days. So I'm back at it, baby. Whatever it is. Hey, appreciate you watching. Hope everybody's doing well, and we will talk to you later. Bye.